So 1093 is a video link we are going to come back to at the end of this video, because it's a good video. It's one everybody should see every once in a while, as long as you're a patriot, a Trumpian, or a Q follower. So we'll go to 1094, which is all the way up here. Computer moving slow. Speed up. Come on, little guy. Alright, so right here again, you have Mr. Big Number 3 above his head, Mr. No Name, and you have these guys again. And Q is saying, flag, security detail background, all looking away. You see these folks here, these folks here, that you can't quite tell who in the heck they are if you wanted to. That's security detail. They're making sure not to face the cameras. Trusted, close proximity, refugees who worked U.S. House and Senate, traitor. Alright, so what I think Q is saying here is that whoever is standing right here facing this way with making this picture is a person who has their phone on them that Q and Trump is spying through the phone, and these folks don't know it, and this person is a trusted person. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. The background's looking away because they don't realize there's a threat. Trusted, close proximity. Whoever's standing here is a trusted person. It's a plant, somebody who is working with the Q team, or somebody who is with them and they're spying through their phone. It's one or the other. It's not a whole lot of options. Alright, so here's this Mustafa guy. Mustafa. And there's a bunch of pictures of him with different people. Okay, we saw a picture like this one before, not too long ago. It'd take a while to search back through the Q post to find it, but now it's in a different seating arrangement, and you see Mr. Mustafa, and you see Mr. Big Number 3 above his head. Right here, no name. It's the same guy as the other meetings, sitting with his back to us, one in the pic. Pretty curious. And here we got Mustafa meeting with LTG Romero Dalier, one of my personal heroes. I'm not sure who that is. It sounds Spanish. And here's another Twitter, I suppose, of the Muaz Mustafa. And this is his son, I guess. I don't know. Here's Muaz himself, ex-director, Syrian Emergency Task Force. All right, so right here's the Twitter page of this guy, this Muaz Mustafa. And my computer won't work. All right, so here he is today talking about Assad using chemical weapons in 2013 to kill 1,429 civilians. He's actually talking against President Obama and praising Trump in these tweets. And the only way I know how to interpret that, see, here's Trump, the only way I know to interpret that, with this guy being in the same pictures with McCain, and McCain being the bad guy we know he is, this must be, what would you call it, false flag twittering, warmongering, supporting Trump as long as he's talking tough and going to retaliate. He's going to support Trump, but that's not what Trump's going to do. Trump is he's using his tact and his mouth to keep everybody distracted while the real plan is in play. And the real plan is Russia and the United States, China, are getting rid of deep state, fixing the world, getting rid of Satanists and fixing the world. That is the real story. And what you hear on TV, even if it's out of Trump's mouth, don't believe it, because he's putting on a show. He's distracting everybody so that he can get his work done behind the scenes without him being distracted. As long as he's distracting them, they don't distract him. That's the way I see it. So, so at this point, we are getting back to post number 1096. Yeah, and this is where it brings us to this Muaz Mustafa. He's a soccer player, and then he turned into, you know, this crowd with McCain, some kind of group. And what was that group called again? Well, I've done lost it. I will do better with these in the future. I'm very new at this. And these are a lot of posts as well. It's hard to dig through all of them and find all the pertinent information to do with every one of these posts, because there are so many of these posts today. These pictures, these we're talking about spider webs. We're talking about Mr. No Name. We're talking about Muaz Mustafa. We're trying to work out all the times, the locations. We're trying to work out, you know, Syrian. I can't remember, Syrian. Some kind of security force. This Mustafa and McCain were tied up in there. But anyway, they have a lot of history. Q wants us to dig into the social media contacts. Who did he work for? What was his access level? Find all the pictures, bigger than you know. One example of many, a wand. Q is telling us that this guy is tied to a wand. Really? You know, I saw some other people suggesting that earlier, but I didn't see any evidence of it anywhere. There's no last names or any ties that I can find, other than, you know, Mr. Big 3 above his head right there. So right there, Q is telling us there's a tie. So April's arrests, a wand, Mustafa. Okay, let's tie him right on in there. And, you know, we also know that Mr. No Name, Q allows, his pipeline has been shut down. Of course, he's not going to be running for his office again under the cover of he has a brain cancer. Well, I feel sorry for the guy, because he's had a brain cancer for a very long time, and he's just now admitting it, is way I see it. So, post number 1098. Q responds to their own post. Why did Hussein protect ISIS? POTUS, ISIS, focus, and destroy in 1 year. Donald Trump gets rid of ISIS in a year. Hussein, 8 years. Okay? ISIS did not exist when Hussein came into office. He invented them between him and Hillary. They invented it. They funded it. They sent the weapons to them. Gave them all the access they needed. Then, of course, the GWB, we know who that is, an ex-president as well. And we don't even want to talk about that. DC access, sold out. Bring back the gallows. I saw a meme earlier where Hillary Clinton was stumbling down those steps in India, and somebody put a gallows in front of it. And it was pretty funny because it had those two guys next to each other holding her like they were carrying her, and then a gallows in front of her. Yeah, it made good sense. I should have kept that. I should have made that like a thumbnail for this video, because God knows we'd all like to see her go there.